So if you have no money or you're broke, this is exactly what you need to do to bring money into your life quickly. And I'm going to break it down step by step. Even if you are not broke, but you're just stuck at the same level you were at last year or the year before, this is exactly how you bring thousands and thousands of dollars into your life, no matter where you're starting from. Now, first, we need to really know the ways that we've been lied to, like the money myths that we think are true. Really, we've just been lied to about money, and that's kind of what holds us back the most. And it keeps us from bringing more money into our life. And that big lie is that you need money to make money. Like, the truth is, you don't need money to make money, especially today. But we're taught that, right? People actually repeat that line as if it's like some kind of slogan that proves that, like, you're really smart. Like, well, it takes money to make money. And even though we've all heard it our entire lives, it's the opposite. Like, I'm not here to tell you what you need to believe, but what I can tell you, most of my biggest financial breakthroughs actually happened when I didn't have money, like the biggest jumps. So let me just share a couple stories, right? So there was a time when my wife was in for everyday expenses because my income wasn't stable at all. And out of nowhere, I got an email from a big corporation that was offering to pay me for a speaking gig, and I'd never received a corporate speaking gig. All my past gigs combined were like a couple $1,000 over 2 years. The biggest opportunity I got was $500. And I got a $7,500 speaking gig from a major corporation out of nowhere because the woman couldn't sleep at night. She woke up in the middle of the night, heard me on the radio, wrote my name down, fell back asleep, and contacted me the next day, right? It's crazy. Like, that kind of jump. The same thing happened with my YouTube channel. I couldn't catch a break. I was about to give up on making YouTube videos because nothing was working. My wife and I went camping. We didn't have any internet or cell service for a few days. I come back in to check, and I had a couple videos from months ago that randomly went viral when we had no cell and internet service, and I started making $500,000 a day basically overnight from the time that I went camping to the time I got back from camping. So my point is, it can happen fast, and it doesn't happen in a linear fashion. So what I invite you to do is just suspend your disbelief, because what happens is we keep carrying our financial past into our life. And that's why it's really important to reprogram your subconscious mind. I have a free financial success hypnosis. If you haven't gotten it before, about 1 million people from all over the world have used it. What it's going to do is reprogram your subconscious mind, your core beliefs about yourself and about money, and turn your subconscious into a magnet for money instead of something that blocks it, repels it, or keeps you stagnant financially. So the subconscious controls 95% of our life, and it was programmed by other people in our childhood. We don't even realize that this is what's stopping us financially. And it's free. It's jakeshypnosis.com, or it's pinned to the comments, and it's in the description right there down below. Now, number 2 is to think beyond linear progress and really open yourself to nonlinear growth. And that's kind of what my stories proved, because I thought it was all linear. You go from $100 to $150 to $200. But every jump I had was nonlinear. I went from not being able to pay my rent to having a beach house in Maui. I went from basically $0 to $7,500 for 1 hour in a speaking gig, right? I went from a few $1,000s a year to making millions of dollars a year in my 20s. And this nonlinear shift happened when I stopped believing that money could only grow slowly, bit by bit. So instead, I started thinking that huge financial changes could happen very fast if I let go of this idea of the slow grind. And I basically put on this new belief that unexpected jumps in my income were possible. Unexpected jumps in your income are possible. You may not believe it. You may want to be like, oh, this is just a guy saying stuff to get YouTube views. I just invite you to try it. I'm not telling you to believe it, but try this mindset and see what happens. And that's when you start to get the shift. And that leads us to big idea number 3. And that's it. Money's a game. But the key, you have to choose the right rules, right? Just like every single game has rules. But there's not just one money game. You get to choose which one you play. It's like there's a bunch of sports games. You can play soccer, you can play baseball, you can play football, you can play basketball, you can play pickleball. Each one has different rules. And which game you choose, you follow those rules. Most of us are playing a limited game without realizing we're following the wrong rules, right? We've been taught that it's a slow, hard, step-by-step, and if you don't have this or that, then you just have to accept what you have, and it'll always be this way. So if you're feeling stuck, what I invite you to consider is you might be following the wrong rules, and those rules might not even be true in the money game you're playing. So what rules have you been following? Like, what money game have you been playing? And what kind of game do you want to play? What rules do you want to set? Some of the best things in your life come naturally without you having to do much at all. Our biggest challenges in our life come when we try to force things, right? When things aren't working, we try to force them to happen. The key is to let go. Open your mind to the possibility that things can change in unexpected ways, right? Just because you're broke, it doesn't mean that you're stuck. You don't have to play by the rules, which are really determined in large part by our past, and then we habitually memorize those rules as the facts or as reality. What I invite you to do is to open yourself up to unexpected money. And that leads us to number 4. And that's how to shift the game that you're playing, right? So what I invite you to do is ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1 is, what beliefs do I have about money, right? Do you believe that you have to work really hard and that money's limited? So if you believe that, you're not going to have a lot of money. Do you believe that money's evil? It's a necessary evil. Do you believe that you can choose to be happy or rich, but you can't be both, and rich people aren't happy? Do you believe that only bad people get rich? Do you believe you're not smart enough? And some of this may be unconscious, and you may not have even noticed you have these beliefs. But take a second and just reflect on the core operating system of your financial beliefs and your beliefs about yourself with money. Once you're aware of them, you can free yourself from them. Once you're aware of them, you can free yourself from them. Number 2 is, what would happen if I didn't believe these things, right? Like, I'm not asking you what to believe, but just imagine if you let go of the idea that money is slow and hard, or that it's evil, or that you're not good enough, or that you don't know how. Like, what would your life look like? What new ideas would come to you? And just really, how would you feel, right? Regardless of what happens, you would feel better if you stopped believing you weren't good enough, or it would never happen, or the rich people rigged the whole system so you'll always be broke. If you just let go of that, you'd feel different. So what would your life look like? Just take a second, imagine it. What would it look like? What would happen if you let go of your personal dominant money beliefs that aren't serving you? And then number 3 is, what kind of game do I actually want to play? What rules? So if you think about this money game, like this new rules that you're going to live by, that are going to be your core belief systems, right? So when I started, I asked myself those questions, right, that we just went over. And my biggest financial opportunities showed up when I believed that they were possible, but I didn't force them to happen out of fear. That's when I started getting unexpected viral videos, speaking gigs out of nowhere. All of these things happened when I let go of my fear, and I stopped playing by these rules that, for me, I believed that money wasn't spiritual, that you had to choose to be rich or happy. So if I believe you can only be rich or happy, I will never be rich because I want to be happy in life, right? But what about both? The craziest thing is you can go to 1 million seminars, you can watch 1 million motivational videos, you can get the best mentor, you can buy that perfect cryptocurrency, start the business everyone's getting rich in. But if you don't get to these core beliefs, it doesn't matter what the road is, you still won't get there. So if you want help really letting go of those core beliefs, now you're probably going to be able to find out what a few of those are just by really thinking about it. Like, what do I actually believe about money? What do I actually believe about myself? What did I learn in my childhood? What did my parents say? What did I hear the adults say? But some of them you may not discover. That doesn't matter because there's only so much operating space in your subconscious mind. So if you just put a new program, you install a new software, you don't have to find out all the details of the old software on your computer to update the software, right? You just update it, and then that's the new operating system. So make sure you get my free financial success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments, and it's in the description right there down below. About 1 million people from all over the world have used it. All you got to do is listen to it for a few minutes every single day. I originally made this for myself when I was like 21 or 22 years old because I was like, okay, nothing in my life is working. Like, I can't I had the vision board, I knew my goal, but I couldn't get it. And that was when I read Dr. Joseph Murphy's book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And I was like, damn, I have an entire subconscious operating system that's keeping me broke. So I created a success hypnosis for myself, and I started listening to it originally for like hours a day. I'd fall asleep with it. I'd listen to it in the shower, while I shaved, when I walked, like when I brushed my teeth, when I'm just like lying there relaxing. I did it all day long. Now, you don't have to do that because I didn't know anything about neuroscience at the time. Neuroscience shows us all you have to do is activate the same cells in your brain as yesterday. So if today you listen to the success hypnosis for a few minutes, you start getting excited and feeling grateful about money coming into your life in bigger sums. You do it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, go on with your day. The next day, if you do it again, you activate the same cells as yesterday. And there's a term in neuroscience called the Hebb's Law. It says that cells that fire together, wire together. So you slowly keep wiring those cells together, and in 7 days, in 14 days, in 21 days, you build a new brain. So your brain gets programmed for financial abundance even before your material reality changes. And that's when the things happen quickly. That's when they show up fast. So make sure you get it. It's free. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, bell notification. Wishing you a great day. You can click here to watch another video.